Hello and welcome to Creator Weekly Live for December 1st, 2024. I'm Peggy Kay, and this week there are a bunch of updates for YouTube. There are some updates for Bluesky and a few other updates if I have time. Welcome. Thank you for joining me live today. If you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great time. If you didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but you do the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales, I hope you found some good deals. This is kind of a crazy time when you're thinking about family and you're also shopping. I will mention that immediately after today's live stream is the On eBoard Commitment 2025 live stream. We talk about our goals for the new year. I hope you can join us on that as well. There will be an automatic redirect at the end of this stream, and there's also a link in the video description. So let me get started. There's a bunch this week. The first thing I wanted to note is that we're in the time of year for annual recaps. And this week, you can access your YouTube music recap. If you listen to YouTube music, it has, your top artists and all those things, but there's a couple of neat features that I wanted to mention. The first thing is that you can connect your Google Photos to your YouTube music. This is available in the mobile YouTube Music app. And what that will do is it will give you a sort of personalized music photo album, sort of associating music you listen to with key moments. And so that's kind of fun. The other thing that you can do is get a recap. Get a recap of the podcasts that you listen to, if you listen to podcasts on YouTube Music. A note that if you do not see a recap, it may be that you're not eligible. You have to have at least 10 hours of music listening over the past year through November 10th, I think it is, to have a music recap. And then if you have a music recap, you may also be eligible for a podcast recap if you listen to podcasts for at least 2 hours, but not including any podcasts you added with an RSS feed. So these have to be podcasts that are natively in YouTube Music, which is kind of a bummer, right? I think that it's kind of fun to see these things, right? And what were you doing over the past year? But one thing that strikes me is that all of these recaps, they end in early November, right? January to November, which means that any listening you do in November and December, not included in the recap. Maybe it's time to experiment, listen to new things. Although I think some people's recaps might be heavy in like holiday Christmas music if they did that. But I kind of feel like, it's like a free period at the end of the year to experiment. You like those things, keep listening in January and it will be in next year's recap. So the other thing that I'm looking at this week is my Reddit recap. If you are active on Reddit, your recap is up in the mobile app. Again, there's a little banana icon at the top of the window, or you can follow this QR code. This is what you see if you try to access the recap on desktop. They say, you should open it in the app. It's always kind of fun to see where I wasted my time during the year. Apparently, I like reading about drama. So those are the recaps this week. Last week, they announced the YouTube gaming recap. And so if you watch gaming content on YouTube, you should check that out also. I assume there's going to be the Spotify annual recap as usual. Next week, probably some others. So there are some fun updates this week if you create YouTube community posts. So you know that on your community tab, there could be posts of different types. There are two updates that were announced this week. The first is that there is going to be an option to create quizzes with images, which is fun. You know, I love making YouTube quizzes. You see that on my community tab if you were working towards your quizzes badge. This lets you create a quiz that has images. The example they show is like, oh, this is the word in Spanish. What does it refer to? And it has multiple pictures. You'll only be able to do this from inside the YouTube Android app, at least starting out. It's kind of interesting. I don't have this option yet, so I can't show you a picture. But one thing that's kind of interesting is that up until now, I don't think it's been possible to create quizzes in the Android app. I think it just has the polls and the regular text posts. So this is kind of a big update for that, and I'm looking forward to it. The other update for posts, and I'm sure none of you are going to be surprised that it has to do with AI. As I talked about last week, there is a tool called Dream Screen, and you can use this to create images and backgrounds for YouTube Shorts. That's what I talked about last week. This week, I'm talking about Dream Screen in the YouTube Posts editor. This is, again, on mobile, not on desktop. And if you're creating a post with an image, look for the pink sparkle button. That's always the AI2. It has the sparkles. You just tap that, and then you're in the Dream Screen image generator. You type text for what you want it to generate, and you pick a style, and it will create a couple of options. You can select one, and then that gets added to your post. You can see I made a laptop with flowers coming out of it. I will note that this is not available everywhere. This is only available in English in the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Those are the only 4 countries where Dream Screen is currently available, both for the Shorts editor and for the Posts editor. The other AI option is to rewrite your text. So you write a post. Maybe you want to change it, rewrite it. Click the editor pencil that has a little sparkle on it. This is really hard to see. I blew this up a lot for the image. Click that, and you will have options to either shorten the text or to change the tone of the text. So you can say, oh, make this casual, funny, or persuasive. I am not sure how funny the actual funny is. I will let you guys be the judge. I'm not sure you can actually see that so well. I'll read it. My original text that I tried is actually an announcement of this new feature. It said, you can now use Dream Screen to generate an image for your YouTube post, like this one. And the funny version is, get ready to unleash your inner Picasso. Dream Screen, the magical tool that turns your brainwaves into art, is here to help you make a YouTube thumbnails that are so good, they'll make your viewers drool. Okay, so that's obviously a lot more over the top. I'm not sure that's actually funny. As they say, your mileage may vary. There's another AI update coming as well. They are updating the inspiration tab, in YouTube Studio on desktop. It's getting some improvements in terms of brainstorming ideas for a new video. You'll also brainstorm titles and thumbnails. And when you are brainstorming thumbnails, you can pick a thumbnail and you can actually download it if you want to use the generated image. So it's AI everywhere. Let's see, in the chat right now, Jolyn says, yes, we can read it. Oh, that's terrible black on blue text. I don't know how I did that. Sorry about that. The next thing I want to talk about is an update for channels in the YouTube Partner Program. So, Brand Connect, which was previously in a limited beta, is rolling out more widely to channels in the YouTube Partner Program in Brazil, India, Indonesia, the US, and the UK. So this is an option on the Earn tab in YouTube Studio on desktop. And it's basically a way to more easily connect with brands and get brand deals. You know, you're basically making an ad for the brand. So the idea is that you set this up, and if a brand likes it, likes your channel, they can see your stats and so forth. You set up a deal, you get paid through Google Ads, and it says that if you set this up, you need to be prepared to jump right in and create the video because the deals could come anytime. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I don't actually have it set up for my channel. But if that's something you're interested in and your channel is in the YouTube Partner Program, you're at least 18 years old, and you know community guideline strikes are active, you can give that a try. No guarantee that you'll get a brand deal, though. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about with regards to YouTube is an issue in Google search. Now, this is something that I learned about following Glenn Gabe and Barry Schwartz. These are SEO guys, so search engine optimization. They're not YouTube gurus or anything, but they noticed something interesting in the Google search results. So if you do a search and it comes up with video results, you may see that for some videos, there are key moments that are shown. This is often the chapters set for the YouTube video. So you can click the key moments and it opens up and shows you thumbnails and all the different key moments in the video. If you then click one of those key moments, instead of opening on YouTube, it opens on a special page that's still part of Google search. So it will show all the key moments on the side, and then it shows related topics. And for some videos, it may actually show various products for sale. And you can watch the video embedded on this page. So this is kind of frustrating to me because when people go here and search, you notice what's missing. There's no comments. There's no obvious subscribe button. This is good for people looking for information from a video. It's not necessarily so good for the video creator. There is a sort of small button to go to YouTube, but it's not really obvious. So this is kind of a bummer. Of course, you get views. It does show ads if your video is monetized. But I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity to get people to come to your channel and see related videos and leave a comment and so forth. Does this actually hurt your channel? Are these people looking at this who wouldn't visit your channel anyway? I don't know. Supposedly, if you go into YouTube analytics, this is part of the external views. And there's nothing to be done about this. This is how it works. I just think it's interesting. So Craig says, Craig says, I've seen the video embedded on a blank page, but I prefer to go to YouTube. Yeah, well, that's me too. And let me just see if I can. So I have no idea how to change the color of the text. I don't know what I did. I was playing with the settings. Sorry, that's so hard to read. All right. So those were the updates for YouTube. I think we're coming down to the end of the year and they're still cranking out new things. I assume they have a list of features they want to launch before the end of the year. I keep hoping they'll slow down so I can catch up. Doesn't happen. So now I'm going to shift gears and I'm going to talk about Bluesky. As you know, Bluesky is similar to Twitter and Threads. It's text posting, pretty standard, but it's got a huge, huge surge of new people, and there seems to be some momentum, people coming to Bluesky. The thing people are talking about this week has to do with engagement and links. So what's the deal with links? Many social media platforms want you to stay on that platform. So, for example, X quite explicitly says they're going to not recommend posts that have external links in them. So if you're posting links on X, people may not even see those posts if they're using the algorithmic feed because they're downranked. On Facebook and Threads, Meta says that they do not downrank posts with links, and maybe people there just aren't that interested in them. Bluesky is the only platform where they explicitly say, we love you to have links, share your links. This is a great thing. And they even wrote a post celebrating that. Engagement is better. What people are finding is that they are posting on X and Threads and Bluesky, and overall, the engagement is better for them on Bluesky. So they're getting more comments, more likes, more reshares. But coming back to the links, this is a huge, significant difference that people on Bluesky follow the links. Links are not downranked. There are algorithmic feeds on Bluesky. For example, I follow a feed that's like popular with friends, that sort of thing. So you don't have to just have a chronological feed. And what's really interesting is media companies, this is the Boston Globe newspaper, they say that they are getting already 3 times the amount of traffic from Bluesky that they get from Threads. And this is even though Bluesky is like 1/10 the size of Threads or X. And really importantly, people are not just following the links. They also found that there's more than 4 times the number of people who pay for a subscription for the Boston Globe coming from Bluesky than from these other platforms. So it's not just that Bluesky doesn't downrank content with links in it, it's that the people on Bluesky are engaged, they follow the links, and they're interested and they subscribe. I think it's going to be interesting to see how much this pans out to non-news websites like, my blog or wherever people post their articles, their Substack, things like that. Do people follow those links more in Bluesky? I think that will be an interesting thing to see. I haven't really seen a difference, but I only have like 150 followers or something on Bluesky. So again, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. I see Nina and Sifa I have joined. Welcome. I'd like to hear what you think about this week's updates. So I'll mention that I am active on Bluesky. You can follow me there. I'm Peggy K on Bluesky. I have my orange flower. I'm also active on Threads. I'm pretty much not at all active on X anymore. It just wasn't doing anything for me, and I don't enjoy reading the posts there. So those are the updates. The other thing I wanted to mention on Bluesky, they just made a change where you can change the default sort order for the comments under a post, and the new default is hot replies. I'm not exactly sure how they determine something is hot. A lot of people aren't really happy about this. They want everything chronological. You can go into your Bluesky settings and change that default to oldest or newest first or the most likes. There's also basically a random I'm feeling lucky option, which I'm not sure that's good to do on any social media, although you might see interesting things that way. So those are this week's big updates. I wanted to mention one last thing really quickly. If you use Google Chat, they are rolling out a new feature called Huddles in Chat. And this is only going to be available to Google Workspace accounts for business and enterprise. I know a lot of people here probably don't have it, but I wanted to use this as an example of how Google rolls things out. So this feature was originally launched in August 2023. So that's well over a year ago. This was announced by the end of 2023. It was in a preview testing. And here we are, December, and this is just starting to roll out. It will take probably through January to roll out this new feature. So Google and other companies too, but I think especially Google, they make these big splashy announcements. Oh, here's this cool new feature. Just be aware that you may not actually have access to it for like more than a year. Sometimes these features never launch, even though they're announced at Google I/O or the Google Cloud conference. So that's today's updates. Thank you all for joining me so much. As I mentioned, immediately after is the 2025 commitment live stream over on eBoard. There will be an automatic redirect, and there is a link in the description. If you want to get all the updates and links and information every week, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter or follow my blog. Again, links in the description. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next Sunday.